Hello Stampers, my name is Linda Bedinger and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Denver, Colorado, and this is my buddy Puccini. He helps me and keeps me company in the craft room. And today I have a video that I've been promising to do for about a month now, and that is to put together a video of my craft show projects that that my friend and colleague Sandy Shippa and I sold in a couple of craft shows, and they were relatively successful, and so I've been promising to share them, and so I'm going to do that today. Let's just get started. This is the first project to share. This one is a calendar with a post-it note holder in it, and this I did a video on to show you how to make these. It has some kind of a greeting here. Ours said thanks, said happy birthday friend. Some of them said happy holidays. We just did all different kinds. And then on the inside is a place to write your message, and this is a half of a post-it note because the full one is too thick to put in the mail. And you can send the other half along if you'd like for people to put in. But when this is done, people can add another post-it note to this. And so this fits in a regular A2 envelope. So that was the first project that we did. The next project that we did were these little notebooks with a little gel pen, and we decorated them up. There's not a tremendous amount of pages, but certainly enough. This is the perfect size to fit in your purse with notes about the errands you're running. I don't know about you, but I get going and then I can't remember all of them. So I need a list, and so I know how to map my trip and do all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, this one, these came out, I think, just darling. They're so much fun to do, simple, and I think we sold these for $5 or $6, and we got boxes of them, which made that price point work, and I got them on Amazon. As I find those links, I will put them in. So we did themed ones, we did ocean ones, we did all different kinds, and I have a black and white one with a great big red flower on it in my purse right this minute. And these sold really, really well. We kept making them and they kept selling. And we sold these both at our card classes, and then we sold them at 2 craft fairs here in town, and did remarkably well. The calendars we sold out of. We went right through them. The next thing I have here is note cards. We did packages of 4, and these we sold for $7 or $8 depending on the show, it's 4 note cards and 4 envelopes, and we did thank you notes and note cards, and we've got about 4 of those left. So again, they sold pretty well. The next thing I have is the next size envelope, or the next size notebook, and that was this notebook. There's a couple of different ones here I'm going to show you. This is one that we had some black and white paper, so we made up a handful of these, and we put a package of colored pencils here so that people could go ahead and color, and people like to color, so they could color their notebook themselves. And then this was one that we did that's just got the pages in here with a gel pen, and I think I might not have another one of those. I think it's just those 2 that I brought down to show you. These sold very well. I don't think we have very many left, and we made a ton of them. And these little ones sold for, you know, $6, $7, $8, $7 or $8. These sold for $9 or $10, depending on the show again. And then we did this size, which was quite a bit larger. But our price point on this one, we sold these for $12, and I brought a couple of examples. and these sold relatively well. And it depended on the show. One show they sold really well, and the other show they didn't sell as well. And then at the end, my partner in this, Sandy, had a bright idea, and she put a package together where there was a greeting card that was the same paper, and then there was one of these little envelopes here. There was a Post-it note holder. There was a couple of gift cards, and she put them all together in one package, and we put a price tag on them of $35, and she only made up 3 of them, and all 3 of them were gone in no time. And I think had we had more, we would have sold more of them. And this next time, I think we're going to doll them up a little bit more, in that we'll close these packages so that there's quite a bit of room up here, and we can put in some flowers and some ribbons to just kind of dress this whole thing up, and certainly with those multiple packages. So again, these sold for about $12. Then we had these, which were really fun, and we made these last year, and they sold beautifully, so we made a lot more this year, and I think I've got 4 left. And these are a little pouch that's made. You recognize some old Stampin' Up! Paper, and there we go. So this has got a decorative edge and some ribbon, and then there's a card in here that matches the colors, and this one is a note card. Some of them were birthday, some of them were thank you, some of them were blanks, and then there is a sachet in here as well, and we sold these as sort of a hostess gift, or like for your bridge group, or a book club kind of group. And we sold these for, I think it was $10, and great little gift for people. And I have 3 of them, and I think I only have 4 of them left, but we tried to match some of the colors up here. And then if the greeting on the card wasn't, this one is a birthday, wasn't exactly right, then we sort of, we had a bunch of our greeting cards there, and let people pick another card if they chose to change the card on the one that they got. This is a 3rd one, and I think I have 1 more left in my stash. And this we did in the peach theme, and tried to match the sachets also to the colors in the card and the colors in the pouch. And again, those sold for about $10, sold beautifully last year and again this year. Let's see, these are the Post-it notes I was talking about, and they work like this. And there's a video up on making these as well on my channel. And in some cases, we did the decorating, and in other cases, this is what you can do with old swap cards. We cut out the pieces that were in there and then put them on the top of the Post-it notes. And so I didn't have to throw them away, and you know, what are you going to do with 200 swap cards, you know, 2 years later? So we made these Post-it notes and continue to sell these in a shop that I have my stuff in, and these really sell quite well. In the last shop I was in, we sold 30 or 40 of these a month. And I have ones that have the Colorado flag on them. We don't have a single one of those left. And we did all kinds of different decorations on them. Here's a couple. And the good thing about this is, again, when this Post-it note is done, this can sit by the phone. It can sit, you know, almost any place where you might need to take a note. And you just can refill a new Post-it note in there. And those continue to be very big sellers. Here's another one with a little bird in a bird cage. Let's see. This one is emery boards in a little pouch. And these were 3s. And those sold reasonably well. What really sold well was individual emery boards with a little fold-over pouch with a few little decorations on it, maybe some little flowers like that on a pink one, and maybe something else on another, and they came in an individual pouch, and I think we sold them for $1.75 or $2 depending on the show, and we sold out of them, and we made a ton of them. And I'll tell you, it's only $2, but if you have 90 of them, still $180. So, and so I'm going to pull these apart, I think, and turn them individual ones, because they sell, and we sold them like this. We were getting them for a very low price, and I think we were selling these for like $5 or $6. And then when we break them apart, we do the individual ones at $2 a piece, and it's not as elaborate as this. So I think we make a little bit more money when they're single individual ones. Now, the next thing that I have to show you are these, and these were gift card holders, and we do different designs every year, but this one has a Velcro close, and it's got the to from on the outside of the card, and this one held a belly band, and this belly band could be slid down the card, and you could open it, and you put your card in here, and then this Christmas tree, when you slide the belly band back up, holds the top of the gift card holder closed. And so we did both kinds, and I think we sold these for $2 a piece, and we sold a ton of them. I have a few left. Here's another one of those. You'll recognize this as the Christmas rose from several years ago. And this one from the Whimsical Christmas from, I think it was 2 years ago. Then sort of the last thing I have to show you are these. We did gift tags, and I had a couple of kits of the gift tags from a couple of years ago, and last year's, and then we just did some decorating on the back and stamped the to from, and I think we sold these for like $1.50 or $2 a piece, and we sold a ton of them. This is from a few more years ago than that, and that was it. I think that part of the reason we are successful is when we set this up, we have actually quite a nice variety and lots of each particular one, and nothing at our table is typically, other than those packages where she packaged multiple things together, those were $30 or $35 depending on the show, and they went right now. But these all went for, I think nothing at our table, we call ourselves the stocking stuffer ladies, is more than about $15. But because they're priced low, people don't feel bad about buying, 8 of these at $3 a piece for, a book club, and then a couple of other things for stocking stuffers and a few special gift cards. And then we also had our own greeting cards there at the show that we sold individually. And I know a lot of people sell their cards for like $2 and $3. I don't. Mine are quite elaborate, and I put a lot of work into them, and I don't sell a card for less than $5 or $6, depending on the show. And I actually sold several. Cards don't really do all that well at craft shows, and part of it is how to display them, and that they're unique enough and they have enough layers that they're kind of like a papyrus people pay $12 or $15 for those cards, and at the grocery store today you pay $7 or $8 for a card. So a handmade card that has what we put into them, I think, is really important to sell for a reasonable price. So mine go for $5 or $6 at least. And so this is kind of the cache of stuff that we sold at the craft fairs. And I will tell you, even at a card class I had with 5 or 6 I think, or maybe it was 7 participants in the card class. They bought $200 worth of stuff. And then I think at the craft shows, one of the craft shows was about a little over $800. And so even for just a couple of craft shows, I think we did pretty well. And I think it was because our price point was low, and our product was really different. Nobody else had this variety of stuff in the paper products. There were a couple people that had just cards, and there were a couple people that had things that were a little different than this, but nobody that had this kind of stuff with the kind of quality that Stampin' Up! Gives you. And so I think that was part of the reason we were as successful as we were. So this is my craft show, and I hope you got an idea as to prices. And let's see. I'm going to take the last 2 weeks of the year off, so I've got another video on Friday, and that's it for me. I'll be back in January. This is time I spend with family and friends and visit people and do all kinds of things. And so that's what I'll be doing. And so I want to wish you and yours a fabulous Christmas and holiday season. And we'll be doing more videos. I have a box coming from Stampin' Up! With new stuff. I talked to a couple of demonstrators. None of us have gotten our new stuff yet. And so we'll be able to start out the year with, I'm kind of over Christmas. I've done so many Christmas videos. And I start in August. So I'm pretty over Christmas by the time we get close. So that's it for me. I do a prize draw once a month, and you can go to my blog or my store. My store is lbettinger.stampinup.net. You can get to it through my blog, www.Ink and Ingenuity. And by the way, there is a free shipping day on December the 15th from Stampin' Up! So you want to take advantage of it if you can. I'm going to try and get a post up on my blog about that. And I'm going to try and be a little bit more current on my blog, and maybe once a week what's going on with Stampin' Up! If there's any news or new stuff happening. So we'll see how well I can do. It's a New Year's resolution, and we'll see how well I do with it. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I do so appreciate it. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, well, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Or you could join my team. And starting in January, there's a join offer. And if you want some like-minded people to get to know and some camaraderie, you could join my team and join a group of us that get together periodically, and we do swaps and do all kinds of things, and it can be a lot of fun. So that's it for me. I'll be back soon with more cards, more projects, and more tips. Bye.